Hello, hello. It's 8 o'clock and I'm getting really nervous. I was like, okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it. But I think it's not as easy as I thought. Okay, let me think. I'm just gonna wait for someone to log in and see who's here. I don't know where to start, honestly. I thought this was gonna be easy. I used to have a lot of butterflies. Oh, the ambulance. I don't know what happened. Hopefully nothing wrong. Thank you for being here. Woo, I am nervous, people. I have some notes and I don't even know where to start. But first of all, I want you to know, for people who don't know me and know the story behind my story, I'm gonna give you a little like a squish story so you can know what happened, right? But most important, for those who don't really know me in person, I want you to know that I'm Mexican and we laugh about a lot of things. Like some of the things we laugh about is like we joke, we don't laugh about it, but we joke about death. So you know, the Dia de Muertos is all like a party, and even my kids think we're crazy for doing that. So I just want you to know that I'm a person that loves everybody, well, except some people who are like really mean, but I still love them. I mean, so I just want you to know, if I see something that is like awkward, either because my pronunciation is not good or because I have this dark humor, please don't take offense, okay? Because I'm getting the chills. I'm so afraid of social media. Nowadays, you can say something and people just don't get it in the right context, or they think something else, and I don't want that to happen, okay? So I just want you to know that I have a very dark sense of humor. I also said that I don't swear, but I do swear in English sometimes, and to me, swearing in English, it's not important. I mean, it doesn't count to me because it's not my language. So sometimes I just said, and I'm like, oh, I didn't mean anything, but it's just like an expression. Now, if I swear in Spanish, that's another story, right? So I just want you to know a little bit about me and how I don't consider, I have my notes here because I didn't want to forget. So I don't consider myself an expert in any topic. I'm a woman, I'm a Gemini, I love to talk about everything. And I've been quiet for almost 4 years because I've been in a transition in my life, a hard one. And it's funny, I'm coming back finally to be the person I was always very happy, very humorous, and now I'm here to talk about something that is really hard, that it's about mental illness. Thank you for Bell, because even though I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is just marketing and people are paying for it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, a few cents could probably have done a difference in my life. It could probably save my brother's life. Maybe he wouldn't be dead right now. And people are like, oh, I can't believe they're just going to give 5 cents or whatever. I wish 5, 10, 15 cents, even if they do it for marketing people, if we're getting like awareness out there about mental illness. So I think it's important. If they use it for marketing and then deducting taxes or whatever, that's okay. To me, it's okay, because as long as all of us were talking about what's happening with mental illness, I think that makes a difference, right? When I talk about mental illness, I have to say it's a few different mental illness. It's not just depression. Like most common ones you listen to is like, I'm depressed or postpartum depression. But there's a lot of other illness, like schizophrenia. Like there's so many, I don't really know about them. And like I said, I'm not an expert on the topic, okay? I'm just going to talk about my experience. And we're going to start with a little bit of my story. So everybody talk about postpartum depression, but nobody talks about post-wedding or post-marriage depression. And I don't take this in the wrong way. I think it was the fact that I got married and a few months later I moved to Canada. So from my Mexico to my Canada, there was a big difference. I came here, even though I spoke Spanish already, it was not easy because, you know, you have to look for a job, and then you realize all the things that you did in your country didn't really count, or it counts, but you have to start all over again. So it is hard on you. Like, you know, you've been in university 4 or 5 years, and you come here and you think everything is easy and you're gonna be living the life, and you're not. You need to start from zero. So that's kind of hard. Then in my case, it was not the marriage. It was, I think, the whole thing, that moving to another country, speaking another language. But I tried, you know. And I think maybe 2 years after I moved to Canada, I started feeling really lonely, and then I couldn't go back to Mexico because my work permit and my whatever they were doing with my paperwork, I couldn't leave the country. I couldn't work, and it was hard on me. So after we have our kids, when we got Mia, I think it hit me harder, because that's another thing nobody tells you about being a mom. You always see this in magazines, you know, everybody's so pretty, and they got like the breastfeeding, and they look so pretty, and nobody tells you, oh my God, that hurts, and I can't. And sometimes you're crying because you can feed your baby, and then your baby is hungry, and then you don't want to sleep. So nobody tells you about it. Then that's another thing that you don't expect, and I think that hit me again. So I mean, back then I had a lot of support. My parents always came to help me, and even my younger brother came to help me, and it was good to have support, right? But sometimes when I wanted to say I need help, I don't feel like I'm okay, I want to cry, people don't look at you like that's the way you're supposed to be, right? You're supposed to be a mom, you're supposed to be tough, and you're an adult. So that started hitting me again. And then I said, you know what? It is my fault. I should be doing something about it. So I started going out to those mommy groups. I go to the mommy groups. Wrong. It was terrible for me. Being a different culture, we're like very like, let go. And it was really hard because the kids, to me, it's like they're learning, and some of them don't even talk. And when I was with the moms, they were like, oh, I can't believe she's not paying attention to their kids. I'm like, I'm paying attention to my daughter. It's just that she doesn't say I'm sorry because she doesn't talk. And they want me to be like what they call an helicopter parent, that you have to be behind them, and oh, she put something in her mouth, so you need to put it away, and all these bacteria things and all that. So I start getting really stressed out. Sometimes I didn't feel that I belong in those groups either, so I start isolating myself. Some of my friends didn't have kids then, and then I was really lonely. I didn't have friends either. Then I was at home trying to make it work, but oh my God, honestly, it was really sad. And I felt lonely. And every time I wanted to say something about how I was feeling, people don't see me right. And how can you not be so tough, or can you not? And then I have a second kid because I wanted 4, and it got harder and harder. But thank God I was in Canada, and I want to tell you why. Because I think being in Mexico could have probably been really bad. I don't think we have the support. Like, I know in Canada a lot of people complain that we don't have support. I think you guys are very lucky. You may not have all the support we need, and we cannot reach out to all those people that need help, but at least you guys have something. In my country, we don't even talk about it. We don't even say, you know what, he needs something. I'm just like, oh, he's crazy, or no, listen, don't even listen to him, he's just bothering you, he's just being lazy, he needs to get a job. We always have those stigmas of he's not sick, he doesn't have depression, right? So it was hard again. But I was really happy and very lucky, I would say, because I did get the support. And here I am. I started getting on medication. When I told my parents, especially my mom, because my dad is like more like easygoing, he just goes with the flow, and like always say, he just whatever makes you happy. But my mom was like not really happy that I was in medication, right? She's like, I don't think that's gonna be good for you. You're gonna get addicted to the medication. And I think I maybe quit 3 times. But then it got really bad to the point that I knew if I had to be on medication the rest of my life, I was gonna do it. And now, 12 years later, I can tell you, I'm not on medication, almost 2 years, but I'm going to tell you how I got there, okay? But if I had to go back, hopefully I don't, but if I have to, I will. because to me it's like any other illness. If you have an illness and the doctor say you have to take, like, when I think when you do that, like when they transplant sometimes, something like, I don't know, any whatever, like un riñón. So when they transplant that, you have to take medication for the rest of your life, and you will take it because you want to be alive, right? So that's what I said now. If I have to take medication for the rest of my life to be happy, I would. Luckily, not my case at this moment, but I took a lot of steps to get where I am now. So now this is my story. I took medication maybe for like 2 years. I stopped listening to my mom because I realized, well, I know what I'm feeling. I am gonna do what I need to do to feel better, right? So I stopped my treatment, because you cannot just quit and then you go like down, and that's when some people take their own lives, because you have to be adjusted to it. So I did, and I was so happy because it looks like my, thank you, kidney. That's what I meant, where they take your kidney and they put it, like when they get a new kidney, you have to take all this medication. Thank you, Cynthia. So I stopped my treatment, and I was feeling really good, and I was happy. But then I suddenly started listening that my older brother was feeling not okay. And I think, I want you to pay attention to the signs are there. Sometimes we even tell people we don't feel right. Sometimes people will tell you, I'm ready to just hang the tennis shoes, like we say in Spanish, colgar los tenis, or I don't know what's expression in English, but we're ready to just check out because we're really depressed and we're really lonely and we don't feel like there's hope. Sometimes you don't even feel like there's hope. Plus addition, your family is not feeling well, and you think, you know what, they will probably be better without me. So in my case, I had the chance to go visit my brother who was living in Mexico. And all the things that he was telling me about, I thought he is depressed. All the symptoms that he has is depression. So we tried to work a few things with him, and again, there's a lot of stigma, and we don't have the means. I mean, by not knowing or not having the resources. That's the word, not having the resources in my country to help him, right? And unfortunately, well, he took his own life. And I'm telling you, it hurts so much, because if you really think about it, all the signs were there, and we just didn't want to listen. Or we wanted to listen, but we listen from our perspective. And that's one of the things I want you to talk about. When you want to help someone, we're always looking, that I learned this too late, because I always try to help him. Like, I know my family, my brother, my parents, his girlfriend, they try to help him. But I learned later in life that when you try to help someone, I was thinking, I try always to provide some ideas. Maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, maybe you should take this, maybe you should talk to this doctor. And I never asked him, how do you think I can help you to feel better? And that's one of the things I want you to learn today. When you want to help someone, the most important thing is to listen. We always listened to reply. You tell me something and I'm already like planning what I'm going to answer, which means I'm not even listening to you. So today I want you to know, if you want to help someone, really listen to their message. And then I think it's good to know, how do you think I can help you from your perspective? And I think that's what I didn't do with my brother. I was trying to help from my perspective. And now he's gone. And it's been a very tough 4 years, because one of the things I learned too, which is amazing, is when I was on my treatment for depression, and then it was done, that treatment, I was okay. And then when my brother died, the doctor told me, you need to come back and you need to go on a treatment again. And I told the doctor, I don't think I need to go on a treatment because I don't think I'm depressed. I think I am only sad because I'm grieving, right? Now the time I think I'm able to realize if I am depressed, if I'm sad, or if I'm moody because I'm gonna have my period. Really, I'm telling you. I've been doing like a research for 4 years. Since he died, I've been up and down. But I have time, which is another important thing to talk about, is you need to give yourself time. People don't understand that. Someone who's going through depression, sometimes we need our space. Sometimes we need break. And I've been very lucky to be able to have it because, after my brother died, so I had the depression, and then my brother died, and then I got separated, and then I was having all these feelings, and I feel so bad, and I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of myself because I didn't check out, and I had so many moments that I just wanted to check out, and not even thinking about my family will stop me. So I'm proud of myself because there was so many times. If it was the guilt because I couldn't help my brother, if it was my guilt because I destroyed my marriage, if it was the guilt because my kids were suffering, if I was my guilt because I was not like brave and strong enough to hold into my marriage, or hold into my kids, or be tough enough not to be depressed. So you have all these feelings that you feel like you're worth nothing. And then I start saying, you know what, I can do this. I need to find a way to feel better. Believe it or not, one of the things I did, it was removing a lot of people from my life. Friends, family. Ooh, I'm sorry to tell you, there's a lot of people who will drag you down. Doesn't matter how much you try to make it work, how much you wanna feel better. Sometimes people just drag you down. People on Facebook, people like pretending to be your friends, people who are your family members, and sometimes make you feel really bad. And I start, but this is because I start going to therapy. Don't think that I'm like, oh my God, I know how to handle this. No, I went to a lot of therapies, and one of the therapies I went to was like the surviving suicide, because I have to go through, understand how my life was gonna change, and all about my brother. And then I went to therapies because I got divorced. And then I started going to therapies because I just thought that I was not worth nothing. And I'm very happy because I learned all these things. And one of the things I learned is you need to remove people from your life who don't make you feel good. And for example, the mommy groups. I thought it was going to help me to get out and socialize. And the mommy groups were not, I'm not saying all of them are, but in my case, mommy groups for me are not good. They were not good. Now, you have all these feelings, and you want to find help, but you just don't feel like going out. You feel so sad that you feel just wanna, you know how much people who really know me in person know I have so many pounds, like high up. Because there were months that the only thing I would eat was Nutella. Because, they said Nutella is good. Well, believe me, to me it wasn't good. It was the only thing that made me happy. And I will eat Nutella sandwich every day. And I gained a lot of pounds. That was my happiness. So, there was days I didn't want to go out. And there was days that I wanted to cry. And I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I was lucky enough to have those breaks, because now with my marriage, my divorce, I have this agreement. Well, my kids don't always live with me, so those years gave me the space to cry when I wanted to cry, and there was no one there to tell me you can't cry. And I had time to go to therapy, and I remember there was a time that I felt so guilty because I bought these M&M bags and I didn't want to share with my kids. And I feel so bad because I was like, I can't believe it. My mom will never do that to me. If she has like something, she will take it out of her mouth and give it to us. So I was crying for months because I said, I'm so bad. I'm a bad mom. I will never do my mom would never do that to us, right? So I remember going to a therapy, and there was 4 or 5 doctors, and they were like, "Oh, we're very, very worried about you because you're telling us all this." And then I start talking, and I said, "You know what? I think I'm the worst mom ever, because I'm hiding these M&Ms in my car, and I ate them when my kids are not around, and I felt guilty." And the doctors told me, "You have a job that is 24/7, like 366, what else? 365 days a year, and you never stop. So it's not easy to be a mom, and it's okay to say it's not easy to be a mom. But then when you say it and people start complaining or judging you, right? Like I have a friend, I really like her because she was like, you're the only mom I know that tells me, are you sure you want kids? And it doesn't mean that I don't love my children. I mean, I love them to death. It's just that it's not like in the magazines. Motherhood is not like in the magazines. And then when you face that and you come and you realize that it's not the way they told you it was gonna be, believe me, you wanna cry. But then you don't have someone to talk about it, and it gets worse and it gets worse, and then they make you feel like you can't give yourself a chance to be sad, right? So that was one of the things I've been learning. So if you have someone around you that you think they're going through some kind of depression or mental illness, the first thing I'm going to tell you is listen to them. Listen to them and try to help them. Sometimes the only thing we want is someone to listen to us. Don't give them a way to solve their problems. Don't try to solve their problems, because sometimes we don't want someone, like we just want someone to listen to us. I noticed when I was going to therapy, sometimes I'm like, this guy is not even like, listen, is he listening? And he was listening, but you expect that when you go to therapy, they're going to tell you how to fix your life. They don't tell you how to fix your life. You find out yourself how you fix your life. But when you have someone who listened and he's not right away judging you or telling you do it this way or do it this way, because you go to talk to your mom and she's like, oh, maybe you should do it this way. Then you talk to your dad and you should do it this way. And then you go to your sister and maybe you should do it this way. And you have all these little brains around you, and you're not doing what you really feel like you need to be doing, right? So I don't want to keep going on and on my life story, but I just want you to know, like, it's been 4 years that it's been really hard, and unfortunately in my family we had to experience okay, so I just don't know how to say it. So we have me with depression, right? And I make it. So far I make it. How did I make it through? I stopped listening to what people expected from me. I did. I removed people from my life that used to bring me down, pull me down all the time. And I stopped hanging out with them. And I stopped, be around them, because there's people like that. I start listening to my body. What does my body needs? A lot of people don't realize that a mental illness is just like another illness. Like I keep telling people, okay, so you're telling me you can get the flu, you can get an earhead, you can get a belly pain or whatever you call it. You're gonna get even, let's say, even tongue cancer. And you're telling me that you don't believe the brain can get ill, can get sick? I mean, I always think the body is like a machine, and sometimes some parts give up. So I think we really need to realize that people get sick in the brain, like any other illness. The difference is we don't talk about it, we don't know about it, and people always judge you. In a conference that I did 2 years ago, I remember saying, when someone tells you, oh, I have cancer or I have whatever other illness is, let's say cancer, people are like, oh, poor them, let's help them, let's raise money, let's provide food for them, let's cook for them. And that's really nice. I'm very happy they do it. But I think we need to start doing it too for those who have mental illness. Someone who has mental illness, sometimes people don't want to hang out with you. Like, oh no, it's contagious, or I don't want to, they're crazy, don't hang out with them. And you know, we're all people. We're people which have feelings. And I am glad some people walk away from my life, because sometimes I needed that. And my talking about my brother, I think he opened the eyes to a lot of people, because now, thanks to what happened in the family and by him being gone, we talk more about it, and we opened a website for him, which is called Beto Vaquero. And we are very lucky to know that a lot of people got help and got information. And there's especially two people that I talk about, like I talk sometimes, and they were ready to check out. And thanks to the website and the information that we provide, they're still here, and they deal with depression, and they deal with their mental illness, and they're doing good. So I'm happy that from something so bad that happened to us, something good came in, and there's people out there being helped, right? So just let me read my notes, because I just keep going and going. And let me see, listen. Okay, yeah. One of the things that you need to think about is if you have someone, if you know someone that you may have, you think, oh, they're depressed or something, sometimes just listening. Listening is a key, believe me. We don't really want people to be telling us what to do. Sometimes we just want someone to listen. Sometimes you need to understand and respect that they need a space. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of friends who had understood through those 4 years that I need my space. They invite me to parties, they invite me to here and there, and sometimes I go because I need to make myself go out. Like I had to make myself go to Zumba classes. There was days that I didn't want to do it. I did it because after all this process that I've been going through, I needed to start being active, and it helped me. But to be honest, I had to put myself and push myself a little bit more and said, you have to go. Another thing that has saved me from checking out when I feel so bad, I remember in a therapy, a guy told me, when you think that you're so low, that you see no hope, and you just want to, like, just think like a wave and go with the wave. When you go on the wave, you know you're going to go down and then you're going to come up. Believe me, the past 3 years, that little conversation helped me a lot, because those days when I wanted to check out, I just said, I'm going to let myself go with the wave. And I cried, and I didn't get up, and I ate Nutella, and I let myself and came back up like that while I was in treatment. A lot of people ask me if I had side effects, and I did have side effects when I was taking the medication. I remember when I stopped taking it, because I started feeling good, and I was like, oh, I'm good, so I stopped taking the medication. I remember I started having a lot of nightmares, and like I would wake up like chills, but I was scared, and I started taking it right away, especially because they told me one of the side effects, it will be like you just will right? So I was scared. I didn't want to do it. So I continued my treatment. Now it's almost I think a year and a half, almost 2 years that I'm not taking any medication, and I'm very happy about it. But like I said, I remove people from my life. And the most important thing, to be honest, I think I embrace my illness. I can be fighting all the time. If this is who I am, and if this is an illness I have to live with, I'm not gonna spend time always in therapy. I'm not gonna stay time all the time because I started going to so many therapies that I was like, maybe you should get me like a membership reward card. So I started thinking, you know what? Just embrace it, Lisa. If this is who you are, and this is an illness you have, stop fighting back. stop fighting back. And I said, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. It was like my brain talking, right? I don't think I have schizophrenia. I don't think I have schizophrenia. I'm just saying, you have that inner you that tells you to stop. Well, it told me to stop trying to fight back, and I stopped to fight back. I did my treatment. I went to therapy. I really listened to what they have to say about the therapy. One of the therapists, it was like, you have to track when your mood change and all that. And that's when I learned that sometimes you're not depressed. Sometimes have your moods because this is your period. Sometimes I really think like, oh my God, I'm so in a chabón mood and I don't want to see anybody. And then I look at the calendar and I'm like, oh, sorry, no, I'm not getting depressed. I'm just gonna have my period. So that was very important. All these therapies to realize when you're depressed. Like I said, when I was grieving, when I was being sad because my divorce, or when I was sad because my brother took his own life. So that helped me a lot. And I'm just telling you, get rid of anything that brings you down. And we're talking about family members. We're talking about good friends. It's hard. It's really hard. But there's people who pull you down and you don't realize it, or you realize it and you don't want to let go. Give yourself a break. Very important. When you are sick, when you have like the flu, you give yourself a break, right? You're like, oh, I'm not going to work today because I'm so sick. The same thing. Sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we don't need the stress of work, and sometimes, fortunately, not everybody can do it, right? But we need to understand that we are all not the same, which means some people need medication. Some people, like I know people who don't take medications and they just go for a run, and I know people that taking medication was really bad for them. So listen to your body, listen to your doctor, go check, and then you'll see sometimes people change medication, and sometimes people realize medication is not for them. And that's what I always say, listen to your body. What is good for me not necessarily means it's good for you. Side effects, I already talked about my side effects. And again, I had the notes about people saying it's not enough places and help, and I agree. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who need help, and we don't have maybe all the resources there, but there's resources, so let's keep talking about it, and let's hope that they build more and more, right? And countries like mine, like Mexico, that don't have them, that they start looking into it. And I just want to say thank you to CAMH, CAMH, because they helped me a lot, and Durham Distress Center, because they helped me a lot when my brother died. And the therapist that they gave me was what I needed at that time. And I wish I could name everybody who has been there for me. Some of them haven't even been here, like, oh, let's have a coffee. By the way, my coffee's cold now. But just by giving me my space, knowing that sometimes I just don't want to hang out with people, because I just feel like the way I feel, right? And good friends understand that. They don't push you to go out, or they don't push you to... Sometimes people don't try in the mean way to try to push you out. Sometimes they want you to go out because they think that's the way it's they're gonna help you. And I know, but in my case, because your case could be different, but in my case, sometimes I didn't need to see people. I don't feel like seeing people, and I'm a very people person. People who know me, they know that I love people, but there's days I don't want to see anybody. And my family members know that. And at the beginning, it was like, oh, what's wrong with you? Why would you? I'm like, I just need privacy. I just need like space. I don't want to have the TV on or the radio. I just need like... And another thing I noticed when I was in those therapies is a lot of people are people who are very creative. People and I look at my brother. He was a musician and all these things, and I start realizing that sometimes we believe that we don't belong, and that's what makes you really sad, because it doesn't matter what you do. People, oh, you should be a doctor, or you should be a lawyer, and sometimes we're very artistic. and we just go with the flow. Like me, I have so many jobs, I don't even know who I am anymore. But that's me. And sometimes you feel that just because you don't follow some other people's expectations, or you don't fit in the box, you feel out of the world. Like you feel like you don't you don't sink in, or whatever you say it. Like, I don't know how to say it, but you don't belong, right? So people need to understand we're all different. I mean, just imagine a doctor, or let's say a lawyer, being an actor. Maybe not work out, or someone who goes and open the dead bodies and try to be a comedian. Maybe some of them are, but I'm just giving an example that people have different personalities, and we should all embrace everybody and respect and stop judging. And that's what judging, juzgando. You don't know what judging is? Well, it's in Spanish, is juzgando. Señores, dejen de juzgar. So I'm just telling you. And I'm scared in this world nowadays with all this social media. Oh, it's so scary, because I'm even scared about doing this video. So I just want you to, if you need help, go look for help. Believe me, I don't think I would be where I am right now if I wouldn't have the help I look for. The difference is, like, I was never afraid. I was like never embarrassed to say, but I don't feel right and I need to look for help. And I did, and I'm glad I did. And my brother, there was a lot of stigma about it, and he's not here today to talk about it. And I'm telling you, depression takes lives. And it's not easy. And it's not easy for the ones who are like left behind. It's just really, really tough road to go and deal with all the pain. So I'm telling you, if you have a friend or a daughter or a son or a cousin that they say they're gonna check out, or that they're tired of, listen to them, because they're giving you a sign. And you don't want it to be too late to realize that they give you all the signs, and you were just too judgmental, or I don't know the word, but that you didn't want to listen, or you didn't want to believe. After taking all these therapies, I also learned that these illnesses are, like hereditarias, which means they come from your family all the way down. And I learned that I can prevent it is like feeding my kids like healthy foods with healthy oils and all the thing, and that's what I'm trying to do, because of course I'm scared of what if my kids will ever face something like this, because I know in my family there was someone behind my brother before us that went through that, and they never listened. And that's when I started wondering, well, if there's a way to prevent it, let's work on it, right? And that's the only thing I am trying to do, because I hope my kids don't ever have to go through it, right? But if they do, we just have to be prepared. We should know more about the topic. So I think that's it. I don't know if you have any questions. And I think it was long. It was a long video. I don't know what time. Oh my God, 40 minutos. 40 minutes. So now I see everybody. Julie Powder, Sandy Franconi, Janet, Peranadan. How are you? Who else? Ray, Dorja. Oh, wow. People from Nepal. Karin, my friend. Cheyenne. Maria Luisa, thank you. Marsha, Ramon, Jezabel, Marilyn, Maria Luisa, Eric. Thank you. Eric, Blair, Veronica, Jan, Elizabeth, Georgina, no Georgina. Jennifer, beautiful, thank you. Cristina, Sergio, Luis, amigos, mi tía Tere, Cynthia, Jessie, Rajesh, Anna, Rafa, Stephanie. I want to read all your comments. Paola, Saul, Heather. Heather, you know what we're talking about. You know you're on the same boat. I know. Heather, you're one of the good things, like the other guys, that this experience brought to my life. So Heather, Lindsay, Really nice to see you here. Laos, Marta, Edney, Liberty. Mi Liberty, que me ayudó muchísimo. Liberty always, like, she helped me a lot. Because when I was really down, you want to know who was taking care of me and Nico when I was really down? Well, Liberty did a really good job. So thank you, Liberty. Cari, Sherry, Gabby, Bert, thank you, always trying to help me. Thank you. So you see beautiful people. Baldwinner, Jennifer, Gilberto, Ceci, my friend. I have another friend right here I didn't mention, but where did he go? Elizabeth. Mi prima Ceci, thank you so much. Catherine, Angela, thank you so much. I hope this video helped you a little bit, just so you know, if you feel down, give yourself a break, listen to yourself. If you have friends, listen to them. Whew. And Penana, thank you. Never knew we all go through hard times, eh? So keep your smile always, that I always remember you as a bubble. Penny, I know you've been really one of your stories should be amazing too. You should do a live video, because also I admire you a lot, because I know you've been through a lot, and I'm very happy that you guys joined us today. And if you have any questions, I mean, I'm not an expert, but if there's anything I can help you with, and believe me, people who knows me, they know that I respond every message. If you send me, if you feel down, I will call you, I will drive to your house, because I know how is to be down. But let me tell you, like someone told me, go with the flow, think like a wave, and you're gonna be okay. But let's look for help and remove people who don't bring anything good. If you feel someone is bringing you down, believe me, that has a lot to do. And anybody who speaks Spanish, let me tell you, you can follow. So I'm gonna tell you, if you want to see videos or something about like the things I talk about or crazy stuff, like I do videos like for silly videos or whatever, you can follow us on YouTube and Instagram, like Parilicious Mama, and my hashtag for everything else is Elisa de la Torre. So I want to give you one for people who speak Spanish and wants to follow my brother's. The website is down because I took a year off of the website because I needed to talk, like to work on me. I was getting like really too much. It was too much. It was 4 years of too much. Losing my brother, losing my marriage, losing everything was hard. But if you wanna list, like if you wanna check Beto Vaquero .org. If you want to check this out on Facebook and like it, betovaquero.org. Oh, my letters are really bad, but I hope you understand what I say. betovaquero.org. And like in that, actually this is in Spanish because that's what I was gonna say. So si quieren darle like a la página de Beto Vaquero en Facebook, porque la página de internet está baja, ahí compartimos información donde puedan ustedes buscar ayuda o podemos referirle. Dice mi hermano Aldo, es un tema muy extenso y muy poco el tiempo, debes de hacer más de esto y hacerlo en español también, para poder ir más al fondo en situaciones particulares. So my younger brother Aldo is saying this is a very extensive topic, and we should go deep inside it more and more, and maybe I should be doing more of this so we can talk about personal situations or particular situations. Maybe we should, and it looks like on Friday we're going to be doing one in Spanish. With my friend Sylvia from the radio, and we're gonna go do it in Spanish. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do one in Spanish because like I said, Canada is very lucky to have so many resources. I was so lucky to be here when I went through all this, and my Mexico, no, we're so behind it. So en español, señores, en español. Y primo, te quiero. Primo, yo también te quiero. Muchas gracias. So I think on Friday we'll do the live one in Spanish, en español en viernes, okay? Y gracias, y gracias, qué bonito esto de la camarita, ¿no? Chuy, es una... Y luego no sé cómo lo pueden ver otra vez, o no entendí bien, pero vemos. Gracias, thank you for watching, and I think you can replay it. And yeah, we'll do the Spanish one. And here we are. So thank you so much, and thank you for listening. Jorge, oh, mi Jorge querido, saludos. Thank you, muchas gracias. Y well, see you later, alligator. And you know, if you need anything, just send me a message. You have any questions, and if you're here in Canada, really look for resources. There's so many. And listen to your friends, family members. And if you're going through it, listen to yourself. Give yourself a break, just like if you have the flu. Would you give yourself like a break if you have the flu? You would, right? Well, you don't feel good mentally, give yourself a break. Okay? Well, arrivederci, mon amis. Oh, parlez-vous français? No? Well, thank you, Sherry. Good night y gracias, gracias. Yo sé también. Uf, todos tenemos historias. Everybody has stories. Honestly, when I see all the people that I'm connected with, I'm very lucky. Because we have been through a lot, but we're still here. And I always say in Spanish, esto no se acaba hasta que se acaba. Which means this is not over until it's over. So keep it moving, people. Okay? And saludos, Tere. Ryan. Oh, Ryan. Speak Spanish. Gracias, Ryan. Everybody look for help. And if you don't know where to look, send me a message. If I can guide you, you know. And sometimes you may need help and you don't even know. Don't be afraid. And accept yourself the way you are. Don't let anybody tell you other way. Sayonara, Francisco Luna. Well, I really like hanging out here. Eh? I'm gonna do it more often. Prima Ceci, muchos besos. Well, thank you. I don't want to leave. But my coffee now is so cold. Look. Thank you for watching, and see you later, alligators. Adios, bye. And I'll do the Spanish one on Friday, okay? Bye. Adios.